And the Supreme Court has upheld the election of Yahaya Bello as the governor of Kogi State. In a judgment delivered today, the Apex Court, led by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Muhammad, dismissed the appeal filed by the People's Democratic Party. The court also dismissed the appeal filed by the Social Democratic Party and its governorship candidate for lacking in merit. In a unanimous judgment, a 7-member panel held that the appellant failed to prove allegations of overvoting and malpractice. And Governor of Kogi State is already reaching out to all political parties and interest groups that contested the state governorship election with him in November last year to work in the common interests of the people of that state. The governor, who is also basking in the euphoria of the victory at the Supreme Court, says there is more work to be done in improving the well-being of the citizens in the state. A jubilant crowd was seen in front of the governor's residence in Abuja, chanting party songs and celebrating the outcome of the Supreme Court, just as people rejoiced in Kogi State.
This wonderful, resounding statement from God Almighty through the justices of the Supreme Court means a lot to me and the good people of Kogi State, and indeed the youth and the young generation of this country. It is a call to serve and do more for our people. This is not an end in itself. It's a process. It's a process that is going to put us up for more responsibilities that lies ahead.
And Commissioner for Information and Communication in Kogi State, Kingsley Fowl, joins me now to react to that judgment. Good to have you join us this hour. Let's start by getting your reaction to the judgment at the Supreme Court today.
Thank you very much. It is a judgment that showed a lot of justice. And that is why we are celebrating that very judgment. The governor had already reacted by stretching the olive hand to his opponents to come and join him in.
We can no longer hear the commissioner. All right, we have him now. Please go ahead. All right, Mr. Fowl, you can go ahead. The question is, getting your reaction to the judgment today at the Supreme Court.
Thank you very much. We said it is that the Supreme Court justices did justice to that case by dismissing the appeal. And the governor had already stretched his olive hands to the opponents to join him in rebuilding the state. The reason why they are in politics, we assume, is to develop the state. And the governor is already doing that. So they should join hands to build a Kogi state that all of us will be proud of.
Right. So when situations like this happen, when people win cases at the Supreme Court, especially electoral cases, we hear them say, we're calling on everyone to join us in building the state, which is a usual statement. But what is the governor doing at this time to actually reach out to people on the other side of the aisle to work with them in bringing good governance to the people of Kogi State?
This is clearly beyond their political statements. He had already started the process immediately after the elections, and he is already reaching out to a lot of people, a lot of opposition leaders in the state to join him in rebuilding the state. So it is beyond the rhetorics of politics. He has moved a notch ahead to ensure that practically he has been able to woo, galvanize, and mobilize the entirety of the Kogi people, regardless of their parties, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their religion, to join him in rebuilding the state. So he has already taken very practical steps.
All right, so let's talk about elections in Kogi State. We know that there were widespread reports of electoral violence during that election, irrespective of where the violence came from. But earlier this year, the governor inaugurated the State Independent Electoral Commission. So looking at elections within Kogi State, what has been done to ensure that elections within that state, which is within the purview of the governor, are violence-free and fair?
Thank you very much. I think the platform of the judiciary enlivens democracy and ventilating issues in a democracy. There were allegations of violence during the election, but there was an ample opportunity for the opposition parties to prove these allegations, but they could not prove it. So you know that in the Nigerian context of politics, when people lose elections, they try to attribute it to one reason or the other. So you had the opportunity to come out and prove that there was violence, and you could not prove it. So as far as we are concerned, and as far as the judiciary is concerned, there was no widespread violence during that election. It is not unexpected that when you have an election of that magnitude, there will be disagreements in one or two places, but that is not enough to say we had widespread violence. That is not justifiable.
Just allow me quickly butt in here, Commissioner, because my question is not necessarily about that election. It's about going forward when it comes to local government elections within Kogi State. What has been done to ensure that they are free and fair and violence-free?
Yeah, we are doing our best to ensure that elections in Kogi are violence-free. Electoral violence is part of criminality as a body, as a whole. And Kogi State is fighting criminality as hard as we can. So we are doing everything humanly possible. When you are fair, like the local government election that is coming, we are going to ensure that it is free and fair. When you are fair to the people, there will be no reason for violence. And that was what happened on November 19 last year. We were very fair to the people. We campaigned hard. We campaigned on the basis of what the governor had done, the infrastructure, agriculture, education, and all that. And because of that, the people came out to vote for him. So there was no need for violence. So when you perform as a government, as this government is doing in Kogi State, there is definitely no need for violence.
Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Farwell, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.